Hey guys, my v-strom is back up and running, so I'm very happy to be on the v-strom saddle again and bring you another v-strom video. And today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about, do a long-term review of the v-strom 650. So today I'm going to tell you, am I still happy with the bike? What do I think about it after owning this for about 3 years? So let's get started. So it's a beautiful day here in San Francisco Bay Area. I'm in Point Potrero, and right there is San Francisco right in front of me, and there's a beautiful bay. So let's talk about, it's a beautiful day to do a long-term review of the v-strom 650. So this is a 2013 v-strom 650. I've had it about 3 years, and right now I've got about 37,000 miles on it. So I think I'm adequately qualified to give you a perspective on this machine. So having ridden it for 37,000 miles, which is about 60,000 kilometers in less than 3 years, the question is, am I happy with the bike? Am I happy with it? Was it a good decision? And looking back, and I have to say, yes, it was a very good decision to get this bike. I love this bike, and there are a couple of reasons why I think this makes an excellent beginner bike. Not a beginner, but a bike in general, is the handling, right? The handling is just spectacular on this. Look at this. This is just amazing handling, and it's so damn comfortable as well. I mean, look, I'm a big guy. I'm like 6 foot, 180 pounds, right? So I consider myself, okay, not really big, but kind of on the larger side. But handling wise and kind of, comfort wise, I'm very, very comfortable on this bike, riding this bike around for a big guy. And I 6 foot guys and plus, we really need, a lot of space in the cockpit. We've got long arms, we've got long legs, right? So you really need a lot of room in the cockpit, and this gives me a lot of room in the cockpit. And so that's one of the key features of this. Going long distances is pretty comfortable on this. But there were a couple of adjustments I did need to make on this bike. For example, the stock seat was sucked. See my other video on what I my dislikes on the bike. I did 2 videos on specific dislikes, but in one of them I mentioned the stock seat, and I got that issue fixed. And then I also mentioned the issue on the wind buffeting, right? The screen, so you got to get that sorted out. But besides, once getting those issues fixed, it's pretty comfortable to ride. And then the other thing about the v-strom is it's a very practical bike, man. This is a bike you can use for pretty much everything. Use it for on the road commuting. You can use it for commuting, weekend riding, pretty much everything. Off-road, light off-road, you can do that. It's a pretty amazing bike, man. So a lot of functions on this bike. And then the other thing that I've noticed about having owned it for having done 37,000 miles on it is the fuel economy on this is just spectacular. I mean, I wasn't expecting the fuel economy to be this good, but the fuel economy on this has been just absolutely, man. I've been getting over 60 miles a gallon. That's when I really even thrash it, man. I thrash this bike. I go on freeways. I'm cruising between 75 and 85 miles an hour, right? And I'm getting over 60 miles a gallon, which is pretty good. Oh yeah, and then the other thing I want to talk about this bike is, man, this engine is spectacular. I mean, the adventure bike setup, I think adventure bikes are amazing. I'm going to do a video comparing adventure bikes to super sports, right? But in terms of adventure bikes, the engine on this bike is amazing. It's got this V-twin liquid cooled engine, right? And it's got dual spark plugs. I saw a video on a Versus, like a kind of similar compatible bike, and I noted the Versus, and I'm a Kawasaki fan. I like Kawasaki. I think Kawasaki Versus is another good option, and is, you know, getting into a bike or at this price range is pretty amazing. But the thing about this bike is, I noted that the V-twin engine has dual spark plugs, right? And that really enhances the performance of this bike. I'm telling you, man, it is a kind of, it sucks from a maintenance perspective, because when you do the maintenance you have to pay for, you know, double the spark plugs, but it really helps in terms of the engine response and the fueling and the power delivery of it, right? It's just absolutely amazing, man. It's absolutely amazing. So this is a great bike, man. It's a great bike. I'm very, very happy with it. I've ridden the crap out of this bike, 37,000 miles, man. And long term. So let's talk about actually some of the negatives. You can't be all happy. So let's talk about maintenance, right? So overall, maintenance-wise, I think maintenance-wise, this has been an okay bike. Maintenance-wise, yes, definitely cheaper than, you know, European bikes maintenance-wise. But I did have an issue. If you see one of my videos, I had an issue with the stator. Right, the stator burnt out after 2.5 years, which kind of sucks, right? I mean, you shouldn't be having a stator issue. And if you look at my video, when my whole, you know, it was a mess, man. I had to take the whole bike apart, and I had to replace the stator, man. That was a pretty big job. I did it myself, so I saved some money. So I'm disappointed that, you know, the stator for such a relatively new bike, it goes out after you know, about 35,000 miles. I don't know what other riders have experienced stator-wise, how long they typically last, but I was a little bit disappointed in that. And then just this week, from a maintenance perspective, I got a recall notice from Suzuki that they want to check the gaskets for this model. They want to check the gaskets, the valve gaskets, the valve kind of the spacing. So that's being covered by the factory, so I'm okay with that. You know, from that perspective, I'm okay. So because I don't have to pay, right? So I can turn back around here. So this is what I mean, man. Slow speed handling, easy to ride around. It's great. So anyway, 37,000 miles review. I'm still happy as an owner of this. Right now I have no intentions of. I did get my ZX-10R. But right now I'd have really no intentions of selling this bike, because the ZX-10R is just like my freaking thrill, you know, like go fast, you know, bike. And this one is more my, you know, commuting bike during the week, which I drive around to get to work and back. And yeah, man. The V-strom, if you're considering, guys, if you guys are considering getting a V-strom 650, I think this model right now is getting a little, it's a couple of years old. The Kawasaki came out with the Versus, which I think is a pretty amazing bike. The Versus 650 is a pretty good bike. And it's a lower price than this, so you know, you'd be kind of, I don't know why you would want to get this bike. I mean, back when I got it, it was kind of ahead of the Versus, but I think the current Versus is probably better and more updated than this one. But I'm still happy with this. If you want to get this second hand. I'm a Kawasaki fan. I own the ZX-10R. I like Suzuki bikes as well, and I like this V-strom a lot. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with the V-strom 650. And thanks for watching, and guys, just yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day, and if you get the chance to subscribe to my channel, please do so. Thank you very much.